I'm Charlie.
And I'm Tracey.
How did you think it went today?
I had one of the best days of my life.
Yeah?
Honest to God.
Oh.
It was like we just, for me, took everything to the next level. There was such variety in the participants. We had ages 16 to 75. We had all different kinds of orientation. We had non-binary, we had female, we had queer, we had straight. We had different cultural backgrounds. And I think everybody pushed themselves and expanded and bonded. What do you think?
I just felt so lucky to be invited on this train ride. Yeah, I mean, I had the pleasure of witnessing your work and what you do through Drag Heels and that whole process, which was super special. And I still, even watching that show now, the edits, I still get there's heart pulls. And I've watched some of this stuff 10 times, 20 times, That's when it's it's authentic and powerful and real. And so now to have the opportunity to work with you again and see what you do in your Dude for a Day workshop, I was it's super special.
Oh, wow, Charlie, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, I think you could, but...
I don't know how. That was, the crew was humongous and amazing, and everything just happened.
It starts at the beginning of the day and the way that you set the tone and the energy, and people just get to a place of being comfortable in their own skin and comfortable with each other so quickly. Because we all know what it's like to show up at a workshop or a conference or your first day at school or work, and those nerves, let alone a day when you are going to be asked to explore other aspects of gender, right?
So, and not only are you doing things for the first time, there are 3-4 cameras around, which I think people quickly got used to. I think so. Do you
Absolutely.
think so?
Yeah. I think, within the first half an hour, right? And then they just kind of surprisingly melt away, and you forget that there are 12 or 14 other people in the room listening intently with microphones and stuff to your innermost secrets and, these revelations that you're purpling out.
Yes, and at one point I love when Jeff, the choreographer, was saying, nobody's watching. It's just us. And I was like, well, I guess everyone's invisible. But what was so revelatory for me, a revelation, was there were moments when I realized, I have no self-consciousness with the cameras here. And for me, that opens up a whole new world, because I've so rarely had cameras in when I teach, because I so respect and protect the safe space that I create. But for me, it showed I can do this work with people watching. And so that cracks open a new possibility, because I think the more people see this kind of work and the inner workings of it, the more they might be enticed to explore it, and then the more positive ripples we can have.
Absolutely. And it was a huge gift for me on the technical side to get to experiment and work in this type of almost more true documentary style, right? Because a lot of what I do is reality television, lifestyle, scripted stuff. And so when there's any issue, you stop, you cut, you reset, you make sure you take the next half an hour to make sure everything's ready to go again,
right.
And then you go. But, on something like this, you want to keep that energy flowing. You don't want that, stop and start to happen. So this was a huge learning curve.
That's amazing. And your instincts are bang on, because when people are cracking open, you want to just let it blossom, and so to stop, you might lose some of that opening. So it was great that you guys were able to roll this stuff.
So what happens next with some of these, and what is the term that we use? Do you think, it was kind of interesting what Flair was bringing up in terms of, drag king or male impersonator.
I don't know. I'm going to think about that. What's coming to mind is male expression. I really think maybe the most authentic term when you're working with the general public and you're doing performance but just for each other might be, I'm going to explore my male expression. Because really it's an energetic aspect that you're bringing forward. And then that can blossom into, I want to do male impersonation in front of people, or I want to do drag king.
You said some things today that were super helpful, that really dropped for me too, and just like, okay, what is my feminine energy? Where does that lie? What does that look like? What are those qualities that we can sometimes vilify, sometimes hold up, right? And why do we do that? I think all of this, it's super healthy to question and reflect on.
Totally. I've heard two interesting things. One is that the creative energy comes out of the masculine aspect of a female and comes out of the feminine aspect of a male. And that's why, and I'm going to stereotype here, but that's why if you have a super feminine ballerina, they might not be a visionary or an entrepreneur or an inventor. And if you have a super masculine football player, they might not also have that. But when you have a woman that's in touch with her male aspect, there's something about that alchemy of having that whole being that can create things. And also I think it applies to beauty as well. I hope I don't embarrass you, but I think you're a beautiful man. So I see in you the masculine, but also the feminine beauty. And the same with women, when you see a really handsome woman, or what I'm drawn to is sort of boyish looking women. That there's something about where you see both aspects that for me is very appealing.
Hey, good day.
Yeah, good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlie.
Oh, I can't wait to
oh my God.
explore more.
Yes, we're going to drag the world.
Yeah, we will.